The first question I have is potentially a loaded one here, and that is, how screwed did you get on that Iowa return that should have been the 8th and the record setter at Arrowhead?
I mean, I guess we can say I got screwed, but things happen, and, they threw a flag, and that's about as far as we can go with it, really. I mean, it was disappointing, but, it's part of the game. So,
David Allen is talking with us. What was your favorite return that you had in your career?
My favorite one was probably the one versus Texas in '98, my sophomore year.
And that's, of course, you dodge about 17 guys in a phone booth, adjust the face mask and all of that. What do you remember? Take me through what you remember about that play.
Pretty much like you said, I got off the defense. Had plenty of room to catch it, and it was funny. Like I said, the ball comes down and kind of hits me on the face mask, and my face mask gets knocked down, and the return was to go one way. I ended up actually going the opposite way and then getting back into the return wall, and as I think a guy grabbed my leg or something, I stumbled, and as I was coming up, reached up and adjusted my face mask so I could see, and then, the guys did a great job of, staying on their blocks, things like that, and down the sideline I went.
What was the most frustrated you could tell the opponent was when you took one back?
Probably, I don't even think it was one of the games where I scored a touchdown. I think one of the games, it was maybe my freshman year against Texas A&M, and it was like every time they punted, it was at least a 15, 20, 30-yard return. And there was one where I actually got tackled by the punter, but he reached out and grabbed my face mask and almost took my helmet off. And I think that was one of those games where, like I said, every time they punted, it was a big return, and I think that was kind of a out of frustration move on his part to make the tackle.
Well, one of my favorite highlights to watch, and going back and watching your return, seemed to me that this was a frustration move, but against Baylor in 1998, there's a play where, it looks like they basically come down and just try and hit you and take the 15-yard penalty, but then the ball's still there and you pick it up and run it back for a touchdown. Did you feel like they were doing that on purpose?
Yeah, there was a couple where, if I didn't fair catch, I felt like, they were I kind of thought that was kind of maybe their plan, was to kind of just get in my way to where, I didn't have a chance to catch the ball. And especially on that one, I didn't fair catch, and the guy came down and, didn't even really look for where the ball was and just try to hit me. And I kind of just moved out of the way, and the ball bounced on the ground, and everybody kind of just really overran the play. And the ball actually, when it hit, it bounced off my leg, bounced off somebody. And so I just reached down, picked it up, and like I said, a lot of guys just ran past the play and ran past me, because I don't know if they thought that since the guy hit me that the play was dead. And everybody kind of just froze for a second, but it's still a live ball, so picked it up and scored. So,
David Allen talking with us. It wasn't a touchdown, but the return that you had, I think it was in the third quarter of the Nebraska game in 1998. Where does that one rank among your favorites?
It's up there. I don't know if it's in the top 5, but it's up there because it was a big momentum changer for us. Obviously, we hadn't beat Nebraska in 30 years, and, to have that return set us up in a position where, the momentum was on our side and things like that. And then, kind of, like I said, kind of got us jump started a little bit, and it was a big return, down inside the 10 and, set us up for I think, a go-ahead touchdown. So,
you played from 97 to 2000 at K-State, literally the best time to play football at K-State in history, 44 wins, I think, over 4 years. Who's the best player that you played with at K-State?
Oh, gosh. Oh, man. There's so many of them. I don't really think I can just pick one, to be honest with you. You can, like I said, you look at the guys that were on those teams from 97, to 2000 with, Michael Bishop, Terrence Newman, Jeff Kelly, Jared Cooper, Dyshard Carter, Darren Howard. I'm sure I'm missing a lot of guys, Quincy Morgan, there was just so many, and which was, why, we were so successful, because of, the talent that we had, on those teams, from that time. There was really, nothing that we couldn't do, offensively, defensively, or special teams wise.
There's no doubt in my mind, David, that you guys were the best team in the country in 1998. You agree with me on that?
Oh, no doubt. Definitely. And I believe if things were different as far as how the playoffs were or the BCS was, there's no doubt I don't think we would have won the national championship. Granted, we slipped up a little bit in the Big 12 championship and didn't get an opportunity. And, it kind of reminds me, not comparing, us to the Patriots by any means, but, the Patriots go, undefeated in, 2007 and then lose in the Super Bowl to the Giants. Nobody would have guessed that the Patriots would have lost to the Giants. Just like I'm assuming, nobody would have thought we would have lost to A&M, but things happen. That's why we play the game, and unfortunately we didn't get the opportunity to play for a national championship, but we came close.
David Allen is talking with us. David, it's been really fun chatting with you here. I'm going to leave you with this. If you stayed healthy that final year against Iowa, we'll say you get the touchdown in the opener against Iowa and you stay healthy for the rest of the year, how many punt return touchdowns would you have ended your career with?
Oh, I don't know. It's hard to say. Every year was different. I think, at that point going into my senior year, I was known. Early on, there wasn't a whole lot out there. I was kind of new. My freshman year, I had one. Sophomore year, there was four, and then two my junior year, but guys start, people start kicking away from you and things like that. So I don't know. I would have hoped to, at least had two, to break the record and things like that, and then enough yards to be the all-time leader in yards. But who knows? Who knows? Hard to speculate, but I had a great career at Kansas State, and I'm proud of the things I was able to accomplish. Thankful for the opportunities that I was afforded, and I had a lot of great teammates. I get a lot of the recognition for as the returner, and I'll say this and tumble in the face. The guys that I played with were unbelievable. They put in all the hard work. They made my job easy. There's a couple of returns that you can go back and see that I wasn't even touched. And so that, to me, that made my job easy. For me to be able to catch the ball and just find the wall and then, just run, that's easy. And that's, like I said, a tribute to everybody that was, on those punt returns and special teams. So
we'll put you down for 10. My official record book, I've got you for 10, David. How about that?
Well, I did have 3 called back, so there's 10 there.
Okay, perfect. That works out.